downpipe off of the turbo on the Mark 1. So it's a GT40 turbo, and I got the flange from, it's called Stainless Brothers. So it's a really nice flange. It's stepped, really easy to put pipe in. Smaller company of Tack. So I also got some pie cuts in case I need them. I got 2 tight 90s. Then I have my Vibrant 90 and another Vibrant 45. Another one that's old that I cut up, and I have a Vibrant stainless bellows. Cheated a little bit yesterday and got the first tack on here. It's going to look like this. Going down. See, plenty of clearance to the shifter cables and the turbo manifold. This kind of job you usually need 2 people because stainless is really heavy. So I'll have Sam hold this up at the turbo, and then I'll be underneath the car. I think the next thing I'm going to do is try to get this 90 off the bottom. Bring this with me, Sharpie, and the light. So we're under here now. Put the light there. You can see this is, here's where the pipe is, and then I'll take this 90. I think it'll go pretty good right there. I gotta get over the sway bar. Sam, go over and get me that real tight 90 that's over there. What are you doing, man? Yeah. Maybe even one of those pie cuts would do it. Alright, so I got a pie cut now with one of the tight 90s. It don't work. Fuck off. I need another one of those pie cuts. Theoretically. The flex. See if it'll be in here at all. If I have enough clearance, then we can just go ahead and roll with it. It's also got to be able to be removed. Take it in and out like if you're pulling the engine or something. I can't push it on. Stop!
God damn it, Oakland, shut up!
You only gotta go a slight amount.
Steve.
Look where my finger is. This is the rack. This is what we gotta look out for. So keep coming back.
Already got fingered.
It's not rocket appliances.
Appliances.
Yeah, I think that'll work. I'm gonna say right here. Alright, let's go make some noise. Oh. So you see, doing this shit on the ground sucks, and then I gotta take it in the house and weld it. If you want to turn off, there's the fab room. So I'm gonna set everything up and do some tacks, and I take it back out and retest. Gas on. I'm going to tack it with 90 amps, no pulse on DC. That should work fine. I'm going to tack here and here, and then peel the tape off and tack. You get it. You shouldn't get electrocuted. Now there is a chance you might get electrocuted. Everything is tacked all the way around how it should be. I just gotta go outside and test fit it, make sure it's good. Here's how it looks. That's real funny, huh? Hopefully I got enough tack welds on it.
You better.
God.
Did you?
Yeah, it didn't break.
You like motherfucker.
Alright, here. Try to Try to like just try to just hold it in place, sort of. A light hold. So here's how it looks. You see it comes down. It just needs like a twist, but you get the idea of it. I'm gonna go underneath, make sure it fits right. Scoot it on back. So you can see that's kind of how it'll look. I'll probably have a V-band right here or a little bit further back. It depends on what I'm doing with the exhaust, but this is just to make the downpipe because I still need to put the wastegates on the manifold. So as soon as I make the downpipe and have it locked in place, then I'll be able to make the manifold much easier, knowing where the gates got to go. I got to mark it up there on the flange. I got to pull that V-band off, and I'll tack weld that on too. Before welding, you always got to make sure everything's clean. So this is just acetone and a rag. And every seam that I'm gonna weld, I just go over all that nasty stuff. It'll also get off all the Sharpie marks. If you don't take the Sharpie marks off, after welding, they pretty much get embedded in there. Yeah. Just lots of cleaning. What we're gonna be doing is called back purging. I have a separate argon tank over here. This one's dedicated to my welder. This one's dedicated to back purging. I'm not a professional welder. I just like it, so I try to do my best. These are from Tack Aesthetics. See, it's got this little diffuser, this silicone, so it's high temp. So you just put it in the end of whatever you're gonna weld, and then you turn on the argon. I'm not gonna do it right now, and then it'll flow through. But for the other side of it, since I'm gonna have to weld it right here, I'm gonna wait until I get up here, and I'll probably put some aluminum foil because I'll be welding too close to it. But for now, I got the other side of it, and this will let all the oxygen escape because the argon's thicker than oxygen, so it'll push the oxygen out. That way you don't get that nasty sugaring on the inside of your welds. Now, turn it on. Make sure it's all the way on. I usually run about 10 CFH. Here, I got it. Run about 10 CFH right here. See the ball? And then usually you can hear it coming out. Yeah, see if you can hear it. All you need is probably like 10-20 seconds, and then it's usually enough to push it out, and then you can just start ripping and welding. What I'm going to be doing is called AUTOGENOUS welding, which is fusion, so I'm not going to be adding any filler to this. This is my test piece right here. Yeah, I got really good penetration in there, so it's all the way through weld. And you can see I got my different various 1.8 pulses, 2.0. What I'm going to be doing, I do all my flash tacks at 90 amps. And then all the seam welds, which are these welds, so regular exhaust tubing weld, that's all going to be at 75 amps at 1.8 pulses per second. And then for the flange up here, you can see I did 125 amps at 1.8 pulses per second. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. You'll see the welder as it goes, it'll go yeah, lights up. It's pretty cool. I'm going to be doing the seam welding first, so I'm going to go down to the 75, and then the pulse, I'm going to crank it up to 1.8. That's what I found works best for this. I have an air-cooled torch, so I can only go so much. It gets a little too hot, so I'm just letting everything cool down right now. But what I have is it's called a Jazzy Tang cup. So you see it's got a diffuser inside, and it allows me to have more of a stick out on my tungsten. I'm doing the pulses, so it's 1.8 pulses per second. So that's allowing me to basically have 10 welds, and then I stop. That way I don't lose gas coverage. So pulse, 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 you know, stop, and then I'll let it cool down. So you can see it's turning out really good. I don't know how the camera's gonna do, but it's turning out really good. I have plenty more to go. But you can see that's about 10 ripples, stop, 10 ripples, stop, 10 ripples, stop. So it works well. He's just hanging out, but still got the argon flowing. I'll keep going around this. You gotta remember this is 3 inches. So 3 inches in a circle, you know, times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, times 5, and that's only for one part of this downpipe. So it's a lot of welding when you're doing stuff like this. Just take your time. You can do this without back purging. You'll just have some sugaring on the inside. I'm just doing it like this because I want to try to make it as best as possible and last a good while. I plan to have the car forever. Look at it. Letting the argon cool it. So, plenty more to do. That was a lot of welding, but it needs to be done. I've been trying to get the downpipe on this Mark 1 for a long time. Did everything to the best of my ability. It looks really good. Really good welds. I don't know how well the camera picks it up. You get the idea. So the next thing to weld is going to be the V-band flange itself, which is up here. But first what I'm going to do is take it back outside, ensure it fits, because I only have the V-band tacked in place. So now would be the time to cut it off if it doesn't fit. That's on me. Because you got it backwards. Got it all welded up and have the V-band tacked in place. I just need to make sure it actually fits. And don't have to like readjust anything. And seems perfect. Take it inside now and weld the flange. I got a piece of aluminum foil in here. And I'll put the matching V-band on it. You can just take some filler wire and just poke some holes so the argon has a place to go. Put the argon in it. Crank it up. And now it's ready to weld, and it'll be protected on the back side. So since the flange is a lot thicker, I got to crank it up to 125 amps. Still doing the 1.8 pulses. Welds came out great. This was all just autogenous welding, just fusion welding. I think it looks great. Very happy with it. I'm gonna let it cool down, take it back outside, and then we'll get on to like the flex joint and extending it, putting a V-band on it, whatever we gotta do. So the little V-band and aluminum foil worked. You can see I got penetration in there, and there's no sugaring at all. It's all got a nice argon shield coverage, so there's no corrosion. You can also see down in there, no sugaring at all. Now going back under the car, all this stuff, or it's terrible to be. You can see how it fits really good. Plenty of clearance where this flex joint wants to live. Do I want it right here? No, it's pretty well contained up in here. Usually I go for like a finger's gap. Seems like I got a solid finger up there. Right there, I'd probably have to extend it with like a piece of this out to here with the V-band. Technically everything should be fine. Man, you know how nice it'd be if I had my welder right now? I could just bzz, bzz, done. But no.
Yeah, take it out.
Gotta take it out, tack it, check it again, probably mess it up again.
Yeah, it's a pain in the dick.
Or actually, here, give me that again.
You motherfucker.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Keep it down there. It's not hurting nothing.
I lose it. I'm probably laying on the other 3 of them.
Clip them on your goddamn jacket.
I'm not Tin the Toolman Taylor here, Chief. And look at that mug. Oh, there's the flex, and you can see, like, when you gotta get things in, you just gotta kind of like push them, and then I'll just mark on the outside with a Sharpie. So then you see how it loosens up and it pulls away. So that way, when you get up and there's no gap, no shininess, then you know that you're good and you're ready to tack. Alright, come on. Now it's getting bigger and bigger, so it might be a little harder to get in the car. It's definitely going to be tight. Up around there. And my finger's gap. The flex joint's tacked in place on both sides. And then I got a V-band right here. And, you know, when the rest of the exhaust is up, you can see I already have clearance. This sway bar is pretty fixed. It does move slightly, but I don't think it'll be an issue right there. So all this is in place. This is just shoved on here so I can weld it. So now this will be the last time that I have to pull it out to weld. So I'm going to add a O2 in now. Now as much out of the way as I can have it. But down here I can't just do the fusion weld, so I gotta actually add filler wire. So clean the filler wire and then clean all the joints. So yeah, these have a little bit more gap than I'm comfortable with welding, so autogenously welding. So I've got to use filler rod on these. So I'm just going to do one more tack on this V-band down here, and then I'll put the argon through it and back purge it. Just won't be doing pulsing anymore. I'll have to be doing it all with the pedal. But now what I got to do is drill out this hole right here so the O2 bung can go in. Everything's fully welded now. I think it came out great. Definitely need a second person. You saw I had to have Sam kind of hold it when it was all the way up here and whatnot. It's a pretty big piece, but it's easy to get in and out. That's why I have the V-band right here. The back half of this V-band I'll make at a later date. This is just to get the downpipe done, like completely done. That way next I can bring the manifold and everything inside so I can add the wastegates in. You see I got a VR block here in my little fab room, and this is how I build my manifolds. So I'll bring that in after this, but very successful day. See how it looks. Everything back purged. See all the welds. Very proud of it. Now, one more thing checked off the list to get the Mark 1 closer to being done. Just gotta keep making progress. So get out there, work on your cars.